Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Thursday, September 3rd, 2015. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. A visiting delegation from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, yesterday Wednesday were hosted in meetings by officials from the Ministry of Finance, led by Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Vance Emery. The meeting, which took place at the Four Seasons Resort, came one day before a high-level conference which began on St. Kitts today. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Colin Doerr, spoke to us prior to the meetings.
We have Mr. Minzo, he's the Deputy Director General of the IMF. We have Ms. Judith Gold, who is the Country Economist for St. Kitts and Nevis. And then we have also Mr. Wayne Myers, who is the resident rep for the region also for the International Monetary Fund.
The officials at Wednesday afternoon's meeting also had an audience with persons participating in the Citizenship by Investment program on Nevis.
The whole idea of the discussion is to seek to determine how the CBI program will benefit the future of Nevis, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities, and overall what role it can play going forward. The whole sustainability of that program is what we are hoping to discuss this afternoon with the Deputy Managing Director of the IMF. We're also going to look at energy and alternative energy. Progress on geothermal would also be on the table this afternoon for discussion.
Following the meeting, the officials were taken on an island tour, and of interest to them were the wind farm and the island's efforts in renewable energy development. Premier Emery was pleased with the discussions in the meeting and is optimistic that Nevis can benefit in the near future.
I think the responses and comments from Mr. Jinzo, Director of the IMF, I think were very heartening, indicating that St. Kitts and Nevis has a projected 5% increase in GDP growth, economic growth over the this next year. I think the comments from our local participants who were there also were very positive. We addressed a number of issues, what we are doing in tourism promotion and development, what we are doing in the private sector generally. And we even discussed the issue of crime and what strategies could be adopted to reduce crime in Nevis and in St. Kitts and Nevis generally.
The dates for the IMF meeting on St. Kitts are September 3rd and 4th. The sustainable development of small island states and the steps to renewable energy development are expected to be discussed. A delegation of youth ambassadors from the Republic of China, Taiwan arrived on Nevis earlier today ahead of its presentation at the Nevis Performing Arts Center this evening. Felicia Libert has the details in this report.
The delegation paid a courtesy call on Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Vance Emery, at the Ministry of Finance conference room, where resident Taiwanese ambassador to St. Kitts and Nevis, His Excellency George Gao Wee Chu, expressed his gratitude to the Premier for allowing the youth ambassadors to host their first international performance on Nevis.
Tonight's performance is their first Caribbean experience. And we are very, very thanks, Premier. You give us a full support, and so we can then have enough time and the full confidence to have their first show in the Caribbean. And actually, it's their first overseas performance.
In return, Premier Emery thanked Ambassador Chu and the rest of the delegation for accepting the invitation and stated that their friendship is valued.
I want to say how very pleased I am, the administration and the people of Nevis. I think are looking forward to this performance because one of the things which we value is the great friendship which exists between your country and our country. I will really value that. And one of the ways to strengthen that friendship and those good relations is through cultural exchanges. And I think this cultural exchange, this performance tonight, which we will experience from you, we know it's going to be high quality.
Yes,
it's going to be very good quality. We think it will warm the hearts of our people, and it will also endear our people to the performers, your young people here, and to greater strengthen the relationship
Yeah.
between your country and ours.
Yeah.
Premier Amri was then presented with gifts from the Taiwanese youth ambassadors, one of which was a calligraphy done in his presence. Director General of the Republic of China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Bar Shou-shen, also gave brief remarks.
I would like to assure that our young ambassadors, the students from 16 universities, they will do their best and they're energetic, the best of tonight. But I have to say, they are not professional. They are not professional, but they accept only 6 weeks intense training. So tonight, they will present to all of you the best of the cake.
Following the meeting, the delegation was treated to lunch, compliments the Nevis Island administration. They gave a preview of this evening's performance.
I want to say that if the little whetting of the appetite we had today, as you sang and danced and played the banjo and your national traditional instruments, is an example of what we shall have this evening, we are in for a wonderful treat this evening.
The 16 Taiwanese student ambassadors are performing at the Nevis Performing Arts Center this evening in a program which began at 7 p.m. This is the delegation's first international stop, and it will travel to various other Caribbean islands and the United States of America. Reporting for the Nevis Newscast, I'm Fredicia Liebert.
Thanks, Felicia. Still to come?
All of these results are very commendable, given the challenges which our students had to face during the school year.
The details after this break.
Safe sex is the best sex.
No glove, no love.
Protect your pleasure.
Real men wear condoms.
It's your favorite DJ Kevy Kev saying, don't be silly, cover your willy. Oh.
This message was brought to you by the Nevis HIV/AIDS Coordinating Unit in collaboration with NTB/AIDS.
Welcome back. Students in Nevis have returned excellent results in the 2015 Caribbean Examinations Council CXC exams, says Premier the Honorable Vance Emery. Premier Emery, who is Nevis's Minister of Education, says he is heartened by the performances of the island's students. In a televised statement, the Premier noted that students in Nevis achieved an 81% pass rate this year.
The two government schools gained an 82% pass rate. Jinjan Secondary School increased from 80% to 84%, while the Charleston Secondary School increased from 77% to 81%. The Nevis Sixth Form returned a slight improvement from 79% pass in 2014 to 81% pass in 2015.
The Education Minister said the results are commendable, and he congratulated the students, their teachers, and their parents.
At the Sixth Form, the most individual units attempted over the 2-year period was 10. The outstanding candidates for the first year and the second year are as follows. Orion Stapleton wrote 5 units and passed 5 units with 2 grade 1s. Camille Wilkin passed 4 units and had 2 grade 1s. Brianna Brantley passed 4 units with 2 grade 1s. And Nolessa Swabi, 5 units with 1 grade 1. And Fazim Prasad, 4 units with 1 grade 1. In the second year students at the Sixth Form, Tyler Martin passed 9 units with 5 grade 1s. Nikolai Williams, 9 units with 4 grade 1s. Ajani Nisbet, 10 units passed with 3 grade 1s. And Richard Matthew, 10 units, 3 grade 1 passes. Sharon Mwangi, 8 units passed with 2 grade 1s.
At the Charlestown Secondary School, students achieved as many as 15 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC passes.
The student who wrote and passed 15 subjects was Nicaila Tyson, who got 10 grade 1s, and Cheslin Maloney, he did 13 subjects and passed with 11 grade 1s.
At the Gingerland Secondary School, students achieved as many as 11 CSEC passes.
The student who did 11 subjects, Ms. Carissa Webb, passed the 11 subjects, but only with 3 grade 1s. Other students, Ms. Derez Morton, passed 10 subjects with 9 grade 1s, and Mr. Akin Manners, 10 subjects with 6 grade 1s. At the Nevis International Secondary School, Thomas Napton passed 4 subjects with 2 grade 1s.
According to Premier Emery, a report of the results achieved by the students would be published in full at a later date. In related news, according to Principal Education Officer Paul Z. Wilkin, there have been changes to the secondary level of education with regards to CXC exams.
We have our high schools who are involved in other workshops relating to CXC. CXC has made some changes in some of the curriculum, some of the subject areas. So this year we are looking at home economics, clothing and textile. Some adjustments have been made to those curriculum, and so right now at the secondary schools we have those teachers involved in workshops. We also have building technology, which there is some change in that as well, and also the English teachers in terms of the English for CXC. So those workshops are going on at the secondary level.
Wilkin was at the time speaking to preparations that are ongoing for the 2015-2016 school year. She noted that teachers are participating in various workshops and programs this week to prepare themselves for the reopening of school on Monday, September 7th.
On Monday, we started with our opening activity. Tuesday, our teachers, they reported to their respective schools where staff deployment was done. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we are having a number of workshops. These workshops range from social math, language arts, schools and safety, a host of workshops.
Wilkins said that the Department of Education is in the process of conducting a curriculum review and has had a series of workshops leading up to this week. She says this week the department is at the point where it has produced an interim curriculum in collaboration with the Curriculum Development Unit on St. Kitts, and on Thursday and Friday will be sensitizing teachers to the language arts and mathematics curriculum in terms of the standard, objectives, content, and teaching strategies. Meantime, a workshop aimed at ensuring the security and the safety of students was also held for early childhood teachers and auxiliary staff. Brian Dyer of the Nevis Disaster Management Department shared basic evacuation tips and procedures for emergencies, while nurses Gracelyn Hanley and Hildred Mintosa Somersall discussed first aid tips for dealing with burns, falls, and poisoning. Wilkins says physical education instructors are also involved in workshops.
We also have our PE teachers who are involved in standardized fitness and testing protocol in terms of that. What we want to do is to establish where our children are in terms of the fitness level, so that for the program we can see initially when we started the PE program for this school year, our children were at that level of fitness, but at the end of the year we can now make the comparison to see we would have taken them from X to Y, and so it's all in keeping with the standards that we are trying to put in place in all of the subject areas right across the board.
The Department of Education is also collaborating with the Social Services and Community Development Departments to facilitate a parenting workshop. Colin Rickard is facilitating the Trainer of Trainers workshop to equip the staff of both departments to work with parents of school-age children. That's it for this evening's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. Good night.